Hello and welcome. Thank you for joining me for True Crime in Cambodia, Crazy Crimes. I see Mumsy is in the house and she has some good news that a book that I ordered got delivered yesterday. So excellent. I'm so happy to hear that. I hope you were able to take a look at it and tell us what you think in the chat. Was it good? It's a photo book. I'll tell you that. It's a photo book. I won't say any more details about the photo book because it's going to be given as a gift and that's a surprise. So, but yeah, you can tell me if you liked it or not. Anyway, I've got lots of crime. Well, actually, I don't have a whole lot tonight. You didn't open it. Oh, okay. Well, you should. I don't have a lot of stories today. We've got a few, probably about 30 minutes worth. And so it'll probably be a short night tonight. I'm tired, so but I didn't cancel the live stream. I didn't do that to you guys. I know you like hearing about all the crazy stuff going on. Well, we're going to start out with the border and get that out of the way. There's just a little bit going on. And I thought this story looked kind of interesting. This is just a couple days ago, 2 days ago, a story that some Thai troops were repelled after illegally attempting to plant new barbed wire in the Banteay Meanchey province. Okay. So stories that I'm not including, a lot of them are about these tires and barbed wire that the Thai forces are setting up all along. Trump says build a wall. He's going to build a wall between the U.S. and Mexico. Well, this is kind of the same thing, only made with barbed wire and tires. And Cambodia keeps saying they're encroaching on the land. It's a violation of the ceasefire. Back and forth. Well, it kind of escalated a little bit to this point. So, and it says there's video, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. It looks like these guys in the back here are maybe the Thai forces that we're gonna try putting up. And so, see, every time they put up these barbed wires and tires, these fences, they actually take away land of the villagers. And then these villagers have to evacuate their homes. Okay. And so these villagers weren't going to take it. We're not going to take it. All right. And so they've got sticks and stuff and they're like, no, you're not putting it up here. So where's the video? Here's the video. Oh gosh, that's too big. I don't hear any sound, so don't worry. Oh, that's because of me.
ថ្ងៃទី 25 ខែសីហា ឆ្នាំ 2025 នៅវេលាម៉ោង 14:20 នាទី នៅភូមិជោគជ័យ ឃុំអូ3ជាន់ ស្រុកអូជ្រៅ ខេត្តបន្ទាយមានជ័យ ដែលមានភូមិសាស្ត្រទល់មុខនឹងភូមិនងច័ន្ទ ឃុំខកសុក ខេត្តស្រះកែវ ប្រទេសថៃ បន្ទាប់មកនៅវេលាម៉ោង 15:14 នាទី រសៀល កងកម្លាំងថៃ បានធ្វើសកម្មភាពជាថ្មីបំរុងនឹងយកបន្លាលួសមករាយម្ដងទៀតហើយក៏ត្រូវបានប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលជាម្ចាស់ដីនិងប្រជាពលរដ្ឋផ្សេងទៀតធ្វើការទប់ស្កាត់យ៉ាងខ្លាំងក្លារហូតដល់កងកម្លាំងរបស់ថៃយកបន្លាលួសរបស់ខ្លួនត្រឡប់ចូលទៅវិញនាងខ្ញុំសូមគូបញ្ជាក់ថាចាប់តាំងពីយប់ថ្ងៃទី 25 សីហារហូតដល់ព្រឹកថ្ងៃទី 26 ខែសីហានេះ បងប្អូនប្រជាពលរដ្ឋដែលជាម្ចាស់ដីនិងប្រជាពលរដ្ឋផ្សេងទៀតបានរួមសាមគ្គីធ្វើការឆ្លើយតបគឺស្ដែងចេញពីការព្រួយបារម្ភចំពោះមុខនឹងការរាយបន្លាលួសរបស់កងទ័ពថៃហើយក៏ក្នុងគោលដៅការពារនៅអ្វីដែលពួកគាត់ចាត់ទុកថាជាទ្រព្យសម្បត្តិស្របច្បាប់របស់ពួកគាត់តែប៉ុណ្ណោះ ដែលកើតចេញពីឆន្ទៈនៃការស្រឡាញ់ទឹកដីនិងការពារទ្រព្យសម្បត្តិស្របច្បាប់របស់ពួកគាត់ដែលកើតចេញពីឆន្ទៈនៃការស្រឡាញ់ទឹកដី
Okay, so that looks like most of whatever's going on there. Let me see if this is the same video or different video. It's the same picture. Okay, no, it's different video. So let's see. Okay, so you get the idea. So yesterday, so that happened 2 days ago. So then yesterday, why isn't this page loading? There we go. Now it's loaded. A Thai commander. Now this look, I don't know if it's the same guy that was making comments right before the conflict started when he was saying, I don't care what the government tells us to do. We're going to do what we want. And then shots were fired the next day. But so now if history repeats itself, okay, this guy, this Thai commander, has said that Thai forces have been authorized to retaliate immediately against any encroachment by Cambodian soldiers or the laying of landmines inside Thai territory. All right. Well, nobody's laying landmines, but notice he's talking about landmines because they had soldiers already stepping on landmines because they're left over. They're left over from previous fighting. All right. With the Khmer Rouge. The request for Cambodia to jointly clear explosives with Thailand must cover the entire length of the border, not just specific demarcated areas. Whether this succeeds depends on the Cambodian leadership, but our soldiers will retaliate immediately if our sovereignty is violated. He rejected Cambodia's proposal to remove Thai barbed wire fences in exchange for demining, describing the fences as a defensive line for the Thai side. Okay. He's accusing the Cambodian forces of repeatedly breaching the ceasefire by laying landmines, alleged under orders from higher commanders. Quote, we have measures to protest and constantly retaliate. Our message to them, Cambodia, is clear. Do not do it again because it is an encroachment on Thai sovereignty. Okay. If they are found, and especially if they lay landmines, I have given instructions for immediate retaliation. We have tangible evidence. Bring diplomats, attachés, related parties to the area. Cambodia can make claims, but facts must be proven with evidence. Okay. So that's what he's saying. I'm leading up to something. Today, they had a meeting, a military region border committee, so RBC, all right? And the Cambodian Prime Minister made an announcement that there were positive results of this committee meeting, all right? Here's the Cambodian side. Here's the Thai side. They made progress. Okay. What's the progress? I don't know, but some kind of progress was made. So then, what is Thailand? Oh, shoot. Wait, there you go. The Prime Minister welcomes positive results of the meeting that happened today. So then this military guy that we were just looking at. Oh, look, there he is again. He's condemning Cambodia after a soldier was injured by a landmine. So he's laying yesterday he makes his comments, laying the foundation about landmines, and now there's a soldier. I don't know. I mean, really, are they sacrificing their own soldiers by forcing them to walk into areas that are known to have leftover landmines until somebody steps on one so that they have an excuse? Which, I mean, that's a really sucky thing to do. All right. I don't even need to read the story. The headline, right? I mean, so this guy is going to be justifying. I mean, he's going to justify actions of starting something up again. He can't handle that there was a ceasefire negotiated, that there was more progress being made today. No, he wants blood, obviously, and it's not good. It's not good for us. It's not good for Cambodia or Thailand. Yeah, sad. It happens all the time. Happens all over the world. You know, they just want a reason to fight, and so they're going to make sure there's a reason. You know, just so I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, or what happens tonight while I'm sleeping, and what I'll find happen tomorrow when I wake up. I don't know. I hope that somebody gets somebody in the Thai government can get some control over this guy. But so one more thing about Thailand. Okay, all the imports have been banned. So authorities seized smuggled seafood from Thailand in Koh Kong. That is a province that is right next to Thailand on the Gulf of Thailand. And so all these little styrofoam boxes, I guess, were full of seafood. There's some crabs. There was also catfish, mussels, and snails. Says that since the border has been closed, authorities have observed a significant amount of goods being transported by water to avoid taxes, occurring both during the day and the night. However, the exact loading locations remain unknown as sellers continue to conceal their operations. Yeah, so there's a huge black market, going on. But this one got busted. So, moving on, tourists were detained in Phnom Penh for an illegal drone flight. I know everybody loves to get their drones and take drone shots. They're wonderful, but there are certain areas where drones are restricted. You can't just fly them anywhere. And so apparently some people were at the top of a hotel on the rooftop to fly their drone. They got busted. 5 foreigners from a high-rise hotel. They were trying to get footage of the Independence Monument and Diamond Island. They've been detained. Police chased the drones after the reports of them flying in the area. So when you see the Independence Monument here, I'm trying to see which direction this is. But anyway, like on one corner, it may not be this corner, but on a corner, just near the corner, is a residence of the former Prime Minister Hun Sen. So it's called the Hun Sen House. It's kind of like America's White House in a way. So if you were flying drones around the White House, you'd get in trouble, right? So it's kind of the same thing. They traced the drone operators to the Ocean Hotel. This was at 9:30 p.m. Here's the Ocean Hotel. They discovered 5 Chinese nationals, as well as the drone and 2 memory cards. And the man who said the drone was his said he was just trying to take pictures to show his friends in China, and he had no other intentions. So authorities provided education, guidance. They got contracts to not do it again, and they confiscated the drones. So be careful. If you've got drones, be careful. Is that by, yeah, it's near Naga World. Yeah. Let me move to the next one. And 18 junkies were arrested. Here's the picture of them all, varying ages. So if you didn't catch it in one of my previous shows, there is a new app that, citizens have been asked to download and use in order to provide tips. And it's called the No Drug app. And people have been using it, been reporting drug use, and 18 people were arrested. So good. That's good that they're, there's probably a lot more they got to do. It's just a drop in the ocean, but at least they're doing something. So kudos to the police. Let's get this one loaded up. It's going a little slow. Did it change yet for you? Why is it still showing the old one? Move that around. Did it change? In Streamlabs, it's a start. It's a start. In Streamlabs, it's showing the old picture, but I have switched it. Let me come back over here. Let me just do this, and then come over here and do this. See if we get the right one. Okay, I am going to reshare. Let's see, share the screen. This one. Okay, this is where we were. All right, there we go. So the next story, prison officer and inmates are under a probe for blackmailing women online. So this is a photo of the spokesman of the prisons. So it says that a jail in Stung Treng province, that's in the northern part of the country, with the border with Laos, is under scrutiny for allowing mobile phones to be smuggled inside. 3 inmates and a prison officer are under investigation after they were accused of blackmailing a woman by threatening to post her photos on Facebook. They created a Facebook account in order to lure the victim, pressuring her to transfer money in exchange for not making the images public. So then authorities identified 7 suspects linked to the extortion, including 3 inmates and 1 prison officer. So crack down on that. It says this case shows that prison management still has gaps and other lingering suspicions. It also serves as a lesson requiring prison authorities to strengthen their vigilance and improve their management. So that is interesting. Don't see that every day. Mm. Did it go to the next one? Yes, it did. Okay. Veteran con woman arrested. And you know this, while we have this photo, she's got kind of like some tattoo of eyebrows. That's a very common thing in Cambodia for people to do that. But I thought this is an important story because this scam that she was doing is very prevalent. She's not the only one doing this. It's very common. So a seasoned con woman who specializes in selling the same plot of land to multiple victims has been arrested by police. So she's 63 years old, lives in Kampong Speu province. They got an arrest warrant for fraud. So in the past, she has absconded from justice. So she's been on their radar. So she's in the Kampong Speu prison to waiting for the legal proceedings to stop this activity from happening again. So the victim said that the woman sold land to them and then took the land and sold it to others. So what happens, since the story's not really going into it, you have land titles, and you have soft titles and hard titles. Hard title is registered with the government, like the federal government, right? Whereas on a local level, your village chief or something can stamp that, a piece of paper that you own this property. All right. And so someone like this has a piece of paper signed by some local authority that she owns the land. And so then she'll say she'll try to find a buyer, right? And she'll take the money, and she doesn't have a hard title, right? So it's like, never buy land without a hard title. And for Cambodians that think that, oh, I don't need a hard title, I've got a soft title, that's all I need. Let me tell you about the land law in Cambodia, because when it was first passed, back then, I think it was the Phnom Penh Post did a huge article of what the land law says. And one of the things it says is that if there is any dispute over land and one person has the hard title, there is no more dispute. Whoever doesn't have the hard title loses, and the hard title wins. They will not hear the case. That's the land law. So if somebody goes and files a hard title on property that you think you own, and then you try to dispute it, you have absolutely zero standing. So never buy land without a hard title, or at least investigating, do your due diligence that there is no hard title filed on that property. Whoa, Zach is in the house. Hello. The 28th anniversary of Princess Diana. Wow. 1997. Can you believe it? All right. Now this is talk about crazy crimes. This one's funny. Look at this. This is a homemade gun that this guy made. Can you imagine? And I guess it worked. With PVC pipe and a little like butane gas can. I'm not sure what the function of that is. Weird. So he made it from water pipes and threatened his mother. Threatened to shoot his mother if she refused to sell her property for his own use. He wanted the money. 35 years old. Again, Kampong Speu province. So she refused to sell the ancestral land so that he could spend the money. So he was angry and he took his modified gas gun and threatened to shoot and kill her. And he's a drug user. He's been sent to a drug rehabilitation twice. And authorities seized the weapon and a knife. He's been arrested and as of this story, was sent to the police station for questioning and legal action. Yeah, I mean, just being in the possession of a homemade gun like this is illegal here. Guns are illegal in Cambodia unless like you're military or police. Yeah, keep them away from me for sure. Next up, a beer factory has been having waste, and the villagers are like, hey, there's a foul smell. And in fact, the headline, the beer waste factory. So there's a factory for beer waste. Do they produce, do they make beer waste? I would think a beer factory produces waste. But this is probably some kind of processing, like a treatment. I would call it a treatment plant rather than a factory. Because it's okay, it says it's processing and packaging beer waste for animal feed. Okay. That it's causing air pollution from the factory's chimney. That's what it looks like. Drone shot there, right? Kampong Speu province again. There's another shot of the foul smelling smoke from this factory. Ooh, look at all that sludge stuff coming out. Ew. That probably smells. That's a lot of the smells probably coming from that. That's going to be highly flammable too, I would think. Oh, and the creeks are filling up with this sludgy stuff. Ugh. It's operating without a license. Well, because you know, in Cambodia, you could set up an operation like this. You got the money. You don't have to get a business license. But then if you get busted doing something, then it's like, oh, you didn't have a license. But if you're doing okay and you're not doing anything wrong, nobody's really cares. So there's fines that are going to be imposed, and they need to get their permits. The boiler needs to be adjusted, to meet the air pollution standards. The shed must be set up to store the waste and avoid leaving it in the open, and prepare a proper liquid waste treatment tank before discharging the liquid waste. So not shutting them down completely, giving them a chance to do the right thing. So that's not so bad. Next up. It's taking a minute here to load up, sorry. We've got the spinning wheel of death spinning around. Ugh. But it's not showing you the right one. I'm going to close that. Did it change yet? No. stop sharing. Let me stop sharing. We're almost done. Upset son arrested after trying to burn down his parents' house. So here's the guy in his cuffs, probably on drugs. I guess this is him lighting something outside the house. He was angry because his parents denied him permission to ride a motorbike. So he's been arrested after trying to ignite the family home. Kampong Speu province. What is it with all these stories being from Kampong Speu province? So a 63-year-old woman filed the complaint against her 40-year-old son for domestic violence. Said while the parents were sleeping in the room below the house, they suddenly saw him take a bottle of gasoline and pour it into the house to set it on fire, causing it to catch on fire, but the villagers helped put it out in time. After setting the house on fire, his son ran away. Police were able to arrest him. He confessed that he did indeed set fire to the house. And the reason that he did so was because he was angry that they wouldn't let him ride the motorbike. And they kicked him out of the house. So, yeah, dealing with kids can be tough. Next up, we've got Phnom Penh gangsters arrested after a stick melee. Here's their sticks and a rock. Look how young these guys are. You guys, you don't need to be doing this stuff. I hope that you learn your lesson getting busted. They were in the streets of Phnom Penh. It happened about 3:40 a.m. 3:40 a.m. Chum Chow area. That's out by the airport, the old airport. Two groups of young men armed with sticks and stones. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. They started a fight on the street. Yeah, nothing good's going to happen at 3:40 a.m. 18 and one was 19. Yeah, anytime something is metal, they always call it iron. This looks like just regular steel. That's not iron. But in Cambodia, I don't know, they just call it iron. So when police arrived at the scene, they saw two gangs chasing and fighting each other. At 9 a.m. on the same day, they caught one of them. And so at 9 o'clock in the morning, they took him to like point out the other 6 suspects and took them all in for questioning and legal action. Come on, guys, get your life straight. You don't need to be doing that. Man seriously injured after being hit by falling debris from an LED sign in Phnom Penh. So here's the guy. He got hit in the head. There's a picture of, so there's the sign, and pieces of the sign here fell off looking like this. Yeah, that's, especially if you get caught on one of these angles. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's going to make a serious injury. They took him to the hospital by tuk-tuk. And yeah, sometimes there just aren't good building codes. And if there's a really strong wind, billboards can fall down. So you gotta be careful around billboards, especially if it's windy. And our last story, I thought I would show us end on a good note. Okay, there we go. The Ministry of Agriculture, Forest and Fisheries, I think is MAFF, are going to be deploying cameras and drones for the Mekong dolphin conservation in Campi, which is an area of the Mekong River in the Karachi province. So this is really, really good news. The dolphins, the Mekong, do they have pictures of the dolphins? Well, there's some video of the dolphins. They're very endangered. Okay, there's, oops, I just want to turn that up. So they're very endangered. They're called the Irrawaddy dolphins. They don't have the pointy nose like dolphins were used to. They're round on their face, kind of like a beluga whale. In Thailand, they've got pink ones. But there have been less than 100 of these dolphins left. I don't want to see all these people. I want to see dolphins. Here we go. Here's some. Okay, then we got some area of the dolphin. There you go. There's the dolphins in the Karachi province on the. So this is the Mekong River, and so there was like only 100 of them left in the world, and go away, ad. Their birth mortality rate, every calf that they were having was dying, and they can only have one calf every 2 to 3 years or something. And they were all dying. So there was like no new dolphins. So like once the dolphins age out and just die of old death, of old age, there's not going to be any more of them because none of the babies were surviving. So it's a really precarious situation for the species. And a lot of times what happened and why this is in crime is because fishermen will do more of like a trawling with nets kind of thing, or they'll use electrocution. They put 2 electric, sticks in the water, and then they send electricity into the water so it kills all the fish, and then the fish just float to the top. They scoop them up. They do that, which is illegal. It's illegal. And in this area where the dolphins live, they're not supposed to be using nets. Also, when they've found dead dolphins, there's injuries that were maybe they got hit by boat propellers and stuff. So there's some really strict laws and regulations to help protect the dolphins, but not everybody follows those. And so enforcement is something that they're starting to get stronger on. So I think them patrolling the areas for illegal fishermen is a good thing, and using the drones, and then also monitoring the dolphins with the drones. So, so a good use of drones. So that's it for today. Told you it wouldn't be that long. It's 9:40, so we're short of an hour. There wasn't that many. But I hope you enjoyed learning some things about Cambodia and what's happening over here. And tomorrow we'll have trivia and just have fun and forget all of our troubles. and just have fun. Yeah. But before you go away, don't forget that love transcends time and space. So wherever and whenever you're watching me, I love you. Yeah, stay informed. You know. So that's it. That's it. I'm going to go to bed. And I hope you have a good day wherever you are. Thanks and hugs, Mumsy says. And so until the next time, I'll catch you later.